we are a private non-profit association based in Lisbon. We focus on marine renewable energies, and we act as intermediary organizations between science and industry. And we bring together an extensive network of partners and clients. So we are internationally recognized as a center of excellence in this field of activity. We add value on 5 action lines, so development of collaborative R&D projects, scientific and technological consulting service. We do advanced training, we monitor and promote public policies, and we communicate and disseminate the technology and also market opportunities. So WavEC is promoting the development of marine renewable energy based on research, on innovation and technology transfer. And in these last years we have been extending our scope to new expanding areas like offshore aquaculture, hydrogen production, ocean monitoring, and this is done in a context associated with the decarbonization and circularity. So we do several activities related with these innovative projects, like site selection, taking into account all restrictions in the ocean and environmental areas. We do engineering studies. We look to the environmental monitoring. We also do public outreach related with these projects. We develop strategies and we give policy advice to governments, and we look to the socioeconomic impacts of our activity. So, as Ruth mentioned in her presentation, these are areas that indeed they touch on RRI topics. And what was our main motivation for RRI implementation? We understand that RRI focus on how to make research and innovation more beneficial to society and simultaneously protecting the environment. And indeed, research by WavEC contributes to finding solutions to the challenges that the society face, like energy transition, circular economy, blue growth, climate change. So we see that RRI can be an enabler to address all these challenges. And the main goal for going with this consortium in this project, in the GRRIP project, was to introduce RRI in WavEC strategy and to put into practice these RRI methodologies in our governance framework and in our daily activity. So what will RRI add to WavEC? Many of the actions promoted as RRI are already undertaken by WavEC under different headings like social responsibility, social innovation, transparency, integrity. And so what will RRI add? In my view, it will broaden and systematize such activities, and this means compliance with rules. It will help us to give more attention for stakeholder engagement and public in the public involvement, and also to give guidelines how we can be more proactive. So looking, for instance, for gender, our motivation was to challenge the staff to think about the gender nature of behaviors of our discussions, environments, and how to monitor programs, project results from a gender perspective. We have a gender balance, as we can see here in this photo of our team, in a relaxed environment, team building activity. But I think we can do much more. There is room to improve here on gender balance, on the gender topic in general. So public engagement. How to raise the interest of people or specific stakeholders on science, and how do we translate our research outputs in a language that is understandable by the general public. Governance, how to entrust the responsibility on RRI, and how to develop governance instruments to actively foster a shared responsibility between all actors. So these are examples of our motivations. And with this in mind, we developed, and with the support of the experts in this consortium, we developed specific RRI interventions that I summarize here with just a few addings. So we created a working group with members from different functions, different levels, and ensuring a balanced gender. We formalized the process for the board approval of our procedures related with institutional changes. We developed internal procedures related with all dimensions of RRI. We have done internal communication and dissemination of RRI. My colleague Jeanette was in charge of this action at WavEC. We identified training needs, and we implemented some training on RRI, just to start on this topic. And we started with preparing a monitoring system to keep track on RRI. And finalizing with our learnings. We learned that RRI is not just about ticking box to comply with minimum standards. We see this as a way to improve our performance. We realized that we need new approaches. For instance, for stakeholder engagement, the way we are doing it is the way we were doing 10 years ago maybe, and time has changed. We need innovative ways of engaging more with stakeholders. This requires time and effort. Of course, we had time during GRRIP and in effort, but I see this as a barrier for the future, how to continue taking the time that is needed to do these actions properly. The concept of RRI is not easy to explain. We are at WavEC, we are engineers, biologists, economists, and and this requires people more from social science. So it's sometimes difficult to communicate on RRI effectively, but we have to do this effort. And we also learned that we should avoid moving too quickly to formulating RRI actions without formulating first an RRI strategy adequate to our organization. Last slide. There is a question how to motivate the staff to apply RRI in daily work. There is some lack of engagement on RRI issues, and usually this is justified with deliverables for other activities and some lack of time to deal with issues that have no deadline imposed. We need to promote more networking activities internally related with RRI. There are benefits of involving leaders, but we also need to involve the administrative staff that at the end will look into the procedures and will look if things are done, if the activities are aligned with the rules. So it means attributing tasks and roles for each individual. We also need to adopt a realistic approach to RRI. Maybe we were too ambitious in the action plan that we prepared during GRRIP. This is something we need to do more according to the dimension of WavEC, which is a team of 20 people. And there is also the importance to transfer motivational aspects and know-how to those that will now take the responsibility for future RRI actions. And for this knowledge transfer, we also understand that we have to develop guidelines and we have to do training on this matter. And I think that covers our motivational and learning aspects. Thank you.